Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim who pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Lord willing, fall upon all your houses. Just a brother Kwana Wath come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. And amen. You had the prophets, right? The true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, with, beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, man. They've been doing just that, right? Blowing the trumpet, right? Sounding the alarm, right? Warning the masses of the impending doom that's ultimately going to take place, here, in the world, man, and mainly right here in America, right? America is going to be, right, as the scriptures say, that lake of fire here soon, man. We understand that, there's order to it, right? We understand that, Jacob's trouble is the next major prophecy to take place, right? But, World War III is going to closely follow right after that, man, and we're seeing the buildup of World War III before our eyes, man, and I'm going to read, Joel, the 2nd chapter, man, just go into, how those missiles are ultimately going to be, when they get shot off, man. But I want to touch on this article real quick, man, right? Just to ultimately, prove, hey, man, war is being prepared before our eyes, man, right? This is Putin orders, right? This is on Newsbreak app, but it says right here, Radar Online. It says Putin orders 3,000 nuclear missile force soldiers to run combat readiness, adding fears of possible World War III, right? And World War III is going to take place, right? Before we grab that, let's go ahead and grab this real quick. Revelations chapter 11, verse 14, right? It says the second woe was past, right? Woe, right? That second woe was going into World War II, right? We understand that there's 3 woes, right? World War I, World War II, and World War III, right? Which has yet to happen, which, again, we're seeing the preparations for World War III, take place, right? It says the second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, right? It's fastly approaching, right? So we'll read a little bit of this. I don't want to read too much, which it's kind of spotty, right? You got a whole bunch of these articles or little pictures, and then, we'll read down. But it says fears of potential World War III were heightened after Vladimir Putin ordered thousands of troops from his nuclear missile force to run combat readiness exercises, right? It says the combat drills were conducted in the I don't know how to say that, that region, and it included around 3,000 Tagol Rocket Division soldiers being trained on the highest degrees of combat readiness on Thursday, right? Why are they being, put and doing combat readiness drills if they're not ultimately going to be used, man? It's because we're in the time of war, We're in the time where World War III is ultimately going to pop off, man. Let's grab this real quick just to prove that, right? That there's a time and place for everything, right? And right now we're in the time of war, right? Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, right? Right? There's a reason why everything happens, right? And it could be something as simple as, your tire going is flat, right? There's a reason why that happened, man. You might not know the reason, right? But there's a reason why it happened, There's a reason why we go through sufferings and afflictions. There's a reason why, we go through, these things that we go through every single day, man. There's a reason to every single thing as we're reading, right? There's a reason for everything, right? Dropping down to the point, right? Verse 8, it says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And we're not in the time of peace, man. Anybody who's speaking on peace, right? They're ultimately a false prophet, man. Because we're in the time of war, right? The true prophets, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, always prophesied of war, evil, and pestilence, man. Always, man. As you read in Isaiah It's like Jeremiah. Matter of fact, we'll grab that right now. Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. There you go, right? So the old prophets of old and the prophets you see today, right? Again, the true prophets, Yahweh Shem El Shai, beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, by prophesying of the war to come, right? The evil and the pestilence that's here, right? And that is coming, right? Verse 9, it says, the prophet which prophesies of peace, when the word of that prophet shall come to pass, then shall that prophet be known that Yahweh B'Shem El Shai had truly sent him. Again, we're not in the time of peace, right? We're in the time of war, and we see, right, that war is being prepared, And guess what? The prophet's been talking about that war coming, right? So therefore, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem El Shai is making known who he's truly dealing with, man. And again, right, so it's the prophets, the true prophets, right? Beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, right? I've been speaking of these things that are coming, right? Preparing you people, going into articles, right? Showing you that war is coming, right? Destruction of Babylon the Great, right? Which is America, is going to soon take place, right? Let's go back to this article. Read down a little bit. It says a clip of a nuclear missile division's combat drills was broadcasted by the Russian Defense Ministry TV channel Zvezda. I don't know how you say that, but it says the footage captured the thousands of soldiers training and the feared Yars thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, which featured a range of 6,835 miles, set up on missile launchers. Right, they're flexing. Right, it says the drills reportedly covered how to maneuver on combat patrol routes in the Ural mountain range, and how to combat Western attacks on Putin's prized nuclear missiles. Right, they're basically preparing, for that back and forth between them and America, right? Because that's what it's talking about when it says Western. We understand that America is the head of these Western countries, man. And the Western philosophy, right? It says the missile regiments equipped with mobile Yars ground-based missile systems are actively changing their field positions, right? It says at the same time, they are developing new areas of combat patrols. The field positions of the Yars mobile missile systems are securely concealed deep inside Russia, right? We'll keep going. There's not too much left on this. It says the massive nuclear weapons at the center of military exercises are accompanied by Russia's newest remote-controlled demining vehicle, the Listva. The Listva moved along the same combat routes that the Yars followed. Skip all that. Right, I don't want to touch on this. It says, in addition to prepping for treacherous mountain terrain and Western attacks, the troops also ran drills on active electronic suppression and intensive actions of saboteurs, right? Ultimately prevent, working, right, to, doing drills to be able to work around, right, if there was an EMP attack, or, if people were trying to ultimately hack their equipment, right, and sabotage their their equipment and so on and so forth, right? Hinder their plans, right? It says the drills followed confirmation from the Kremlin officials that for the first time, Putin's infamous nuclear mega missile dubbed the Satan II was placed on combat duties, right? So not only are they doing drills, right? The Satan II, right, is already on combat duty, which we know, I think it was like a couple weeks ago they put it on combat duty, right? But now they're doing drills, right? They're doing drills to ultimately, to practice and, being able to use those things, properly, man, It says right here, it says at 116 feet in length and capable of traveling 16,000 miles per hour. It says the Satan II was said to have the ability to sink the UK in a single strike. That's just one, man. That's just one missile, right? And we understand that the America's prophesied to be destroyed by 200 million nuclear warheads, right? And roughly, each missile, right? This is on average, right, across the board, where all countries and all different types of missiles. They can hold anywhere between, I think it was like 3 to like 8 warheads, man, right? Depending on the missile, depending on the size, and depending on the size of the warhead, right? Anywhere from 3 to 8, warheads, man. That's a fucking lot. And each one has, anywhere roughly from 1 megaton to I think it was 350 megatons worth of explosives within it, man. Which you can do your research. 1 megaton, I think when it explodes, right? The center of that explosion is around 1 million degrees, right? And it can, the blast goes anywhere from, 75 to 125 miles, spreading out from the center, So it's a big ass blast. It's not no small ass blast, man. It's a big ass blast. And that's just one, at 1 megaton, right? Let alone fucking 350 million, right, megatons, or 350 megatons, which is a lot, right? It says, as Putin's merciless war in Ukraine continues to drag on, fears that the paranoid Kremlin leader will resort to nuclear warfare increased daily, right? It says in the early September, Ukraine launched a series of IKEA-like drone strikes on Russia, then successful strikes took place over 4 days and targeted key air bases such as the Kalino military airfield in Kursk, right? And that's all I really wanted to get off this article, right? Just proving again, right? Russia has nuclear missiles, right? Prepared, right, for war, as well as he's training, his special, missile force, troops, right? On basically preparedness, right? To be ready at all times, man. Right? So war is being prepared as we speak, I know my phone's kind of died, so I might have to just wrap this up real quick and let my phone charge. But this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? It says, prepare war, right? War is being prepared as we speak, right? Again, you got China, North Korea, right? They've been in talks about, invasions on America. You got Russia right now, basically literally preparing their military troops, right, for a nuclear war with America, man, with the West, with the West, right, as they say, right? So this is all in the works, man. It's all in the works, right? It says, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong. And we've been seeing this all over, man, right? Iran making threats on America, or towards America, last few years, North Korea's been making major threats to America, with the invasion and nuclear missile threats, right? So on and so forth. And again, America is ultimately, you got many nations that are looking at America sideways now, man, from the small to the great, man, looking at America sideways because of the evil and wickedness that America's been pushing in the earth. These nations are done with that shit, man, and they've been having talking about, basically dethroning the dollar and getting rid of that Western-led, world order, right? They're done with America. They're done with this wicked-ass philosophy, and they're ready to shoot those nuclear missiles, man, damn near. All right, we're just waiting, right, for Yahweh Shemel Shai to have them press that button, right? Verse 11 says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's right, man. The Lord is the one that's sending down these angels, man, to to ultimately stir up the minds, of these leaders, man. Right? And now we're here, right? And we're in the time where this is ultimately going to take place. And let me end with this. This is the time that we're in, man. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, for the vision, right? We understand that vision is going into, right, prophecy, right? The word vision, right, can be replaced with the word prophecy, right? So let's read it and replace that word prophecy, right? It says, for the prophecy is yet for an appointed time, right? And we're in that time, right? We're in the time where World War III is going to happen, right? It's going to happen in our lifetime, man. You can look that up in Ezekiel. I think it's the 12th chapter, right? We're on the 25th verse, right? When you read it in the NLT, it states that in your days, right, in your generation will it happen, man. In this time, right, our generation, our time, right? It says, but at the end it shall speak, which is speaking, right? We're reading these articles, seeing these videos on them, right? These little parades and, so on and so forth that they're doing, you know, basically promoting, right, these little clips, cartoons, right, about, you know, how, you know, they're going to destroy America, right? All these nations are doing that, man, you know, so it's speaking now, right? It says, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, right? And we're at that time, man, so stay prepared, stay watching, you know, continue to pray to Yahweh Shem El Shai, continue to pray for more faith, man, continue to prove your faith in this time, man, so that when those missiles come, man, a chariot can, you know, Lord will, you know, come swoop us up before the missiles drop, man, you know, because that's the time that we're in, man, you know. So with that, Lord will is edifying, Lord will straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, Ba'ashem, Rechak Wadash, that belongs to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.